to court today in an attempt to reinstate the humanitarian parole program. It's a long-standing legal tool that presidents have used to allow people from countries with war or political instability to temporarily live in the U.S. legally. 875,000 people are in the U.S. under the program. And this comes as thousands more immigrants are losing legal status under the CHNV parole program. Scripps News Group political correspondent Joe St. George joins us live, and we're talking about 500,000 people or more here, Joe. It's a lot of people.
Well, good morning, Dan. What we're talking about are individuals who came to the U.S. under a humanitarian parole program first granted by President Biden and the Biden administration. Individuals from Cuba and Venezuela and Haiti and Nicaragua. And if we backtrack just a little bit to remind people of why this program was created, basically 2022, 2023, that's when Department of Homeland Security noticed a strong uptick in the number of migrants showing up at the southern border hailing from those countries. So the thinking was creating a streamlined process to allow people still get access to the United States, but do so in a way that didn't require showing up at the southern border in Texas or in Arizona on a random Monday to try to get access to the United States. Around 530,000 individuals are believed to have taken advantage of this program. And now, based on the announcements from the Trump administration, this program will essentially be ending in the next 30 days. And these individuals will have either had to have formed another form of protected status since being here, or run the risk of being deported by ICE. The ask is for self-deportation for those individuals in particular. We shouldn't necessarily be massively surprised by this. President Trump campaigned on rolling back a lot of the immigration announcements and changes made by former President Joe Biden. Over the weekend, the Department of Homeland Security suggested one of the reasons they're doing this is because they didn't think the Biden administration properly vetted these individuals. This is one of just a few major immigration announcements we're monitoring as this work week gets back and this work week gets underway in due course. Dan, as first reported in the Washington Post over the weekend, the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Department of Homeland Security are nearing a possible deal to increase information sharing. Now, this is one of those things we're going to have to wait and see. Every comma, check the dotted I's and the crossed T's to see what exactly it means. But this potentially could change decades of precedents in Washington. I don't want to sound like an accountant this early in the morning, but Section 6103 of the Federal Tax Code essentially guarantees protection of sensitive information that taxpayers give the IRS, names and addresses. There's a possibility that the Department of Homeland Security could get more information, more access to that, or at the very least the ability to confirm information that they suspect. Again, we'll have to keep an eye on it. It could be a possible major development for ICE, and the Department of Homeland Security could be an added tool in their toolbox as they attempt to carry out the directive from the president to create the largest deportation task force in American history. So a lot of immigration moves happening, Dan, on this Monday.
Yeah, on this one that you just mentioned, though, it looks like ICE is just looking for specific information about people, illegal immigrants who have committed crimes in our country. It's not really a sweeping ask for information here. And there are definite pros and cons with this, it looks like. Some people worried that people who are here illegally may now not want to file taxes here.
And that is the crux of this. And there's already a bipartisan tax policy centers who are saying that because of this information, you may have fewer immigrants, migrants filing taxes this year. I think a lot of people don't know that a lot of undocumented immigrants file taxes and that the U.S. makes money off these individuals each and every year. It helps pay for Social Security. So there's a concern that there will be a dip in the number of tax collections, and some estimate that it could fall as much as 10% this year, given not just this change, but also all the layoffs and terminations of employees at the Internal Revenue Service. Following the money is something we'll continue to do in the weeks and months ahead, Dan.
All right, you mentioned tax code very early, and we're all still awake here with you, Joe. You didn't put us to sleep.
There we go.
All right, thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate it.
I'll do that tomorrow. Good to see you, sir.